Shalom. All glorification, honor, and praise is due only unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the venerable apostles, the great millstone, along with the bishops and Sequanium, who rule and teach well. Salutations to the elect of Yasharallah, the Bayat Shah Dawadah, the house of David. I'm Shabbar Amath back with another prophecy in short. Going into this article that was published on Daily Mail yesterday. Today is Tuesday, December the 5th, 2023, the hopeful year that all these prophecies come to pass. Going into the tensions out in the so-called Middle East. Between Babylon the Great, aka America, and Iran, which Iran are it's like the Iranians are the modern day Persians, and also the Carmanians when you go into 2nd Ezra 15. You see the headline. It's a long headline. Former U.S. ambassador. Iran will attack U.S. forces unless Biden administration gets tough and strikes back against rogue nation's clerics who are funding Houthi assaults. A former ambassador to Iraq has warned that Iran is responsible for the multiple confirmed attacks on American warships in the Red Sea, and that the only way to stop them is for Biden to fight back. Nathan Sales, former ambassador at large to Iraq and the Levant, discussed the Pentagon confirmed attacks U.S. maritime vessels linked to the ongoing Israel-Hamas war. And he's quoted as saying, Iran is behind everything that we're seeing in terms of attacks directed on U.S. forces. He goes on to say, we're seeing Iranian proxies attack Americans in Syria and Iraq, and now from Yemen. And they're going to keep doing it until we make them stop. So this is just another war hawk, doing the bidding of the spiritual demon Satan and Amalek, which Amalek is the head tribe of the nation of Edom. All right, Edom being the so-called white man. Anyone who goes on Fox News, is going to be saying the same things. They're all war hawking. They're all pushing for war. And they've been pushing for war with Iran for, over a decade now. Amalek has envisioned a greater Israel. All right, you can look that up, the Greater Israel Project. And this is all about, wanting, control over that whole region and all those resources. All right. But like we always say, through the power of the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, messing with Iran and provoking Iran, is going to be the last mistake that these Amalekites make, being the least of the flock. Let's read that in Jeremiah 49. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, and verse 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock All right, that's these, again, Amalekites, them so-called JOOZ. All right, those international banking families, okay? They are the mount of Esau. It says, surely the least of the flock, and they're the least in terms of, numbers, okay? But they're the most powerful tribe of the nation of Edom. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. They're drawing these nations out for war, okay? Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. So the demonization continues, and they are under attack. And there's no disputing that, okay? And they're being provoked. Again, all these skirmishes, if you will, in the Red Sea, et cetera, between these so-called Iranian, backed proxies, they're gonna spread, okay, and ultimately all these nations, you can go to Ezekiel the 38th chapter, and all these nations are ultimately going to come against the Israeli state, so-called Israeli state, and they're going to, fire their missiles on Babylon and completely destroy this whole landmass, okay? On Sunday, U.S. Central Command confirmed there were 4 attacks against 3 separate commercial vessels in the southern Red Sea, fired from Yemen's Houthi-controlled areas, which are being funded by Iranian government money. These attacks represent a direct threat to international commerce and maritime security, said U.S. Central Command. They have jeopardized the lives of international crews representing multiple countries around the world. We also have every reason to believe that these attacks, while launched by the Houthis in Yemen, are fully enabled by Iran. Sales, who served as coordinator for counterterrorism for the State Department, said the military will need to take stronger action to stop the attacks. So the war drums are beating. They continue to beat. And once Iran is fully drawn into this thing, it goes global. All right. We'll stay in the book of Jeremiah. Go to chapter 50. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 9. For lo, I'll raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her, and from thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man, and none shall return in vain. And Chaldea, verse 10, shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord Yahweh. That's right. So Iran's coming to take a spoil, along with Russia and China. They're coming to take a spoil, as well as, all these other nations, Dragons of Arabia, okay, Ethiopia, Egypt, etc., India. Skipping down to verse 14. Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord Yahweh. How did she sin against the Lord? By enslaving the Lord's people, the apple of his eye, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, who are the chosen people of the book. Okay? That's how America has sinned against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. It says, verse 15, shot against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord, Yahweh. Take vengeance upon her. As she have done, do unto her. And the scriptures talks about vengeance belonging to the Lord. Ultimately, that's how he's going to pour out his vengeance on these. It's like you're on this place. Okay? We're going to use these other nations, okay, to shoot those missiles, man. Which those missiles belong to him. Obviously, we always bring that out. We all know these scriptures. So, it's high time for you Israelites, okay, to wake out of sleep, because the war is spreading. All right. We're already, in World War III. You just don't see it on your street corner yet, but you will. All right. Something major is about to go down here. Something big, something that's going to make 9/11, for example, look like a walk in the park. So your Israelites are running out of time, Your window of opportunity is, closing quickly. Let me get Romans 13. This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11, and it reads, "In that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep." All right. What spiritual slumber that you're in. Gotta wake up, Jacob. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Right. Brothers came in. Well, if you start with the top, man, the apostles of Great Millstone on down, they came in 30 plus years ago, 35 years ago. So now salvation's nearer than when they first believed. Came in 20 years ago, the bishops and elders, 15, Those of us who came in, 8, 9, 10 years ago, salvation is nearer than when we believe. All right, verse 12, the night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. Yeah. We'll keep going though. Verse 13, let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envy. Yeah, we got to be sober out here. That's twofold too. Spiritually sober, holding to the right doctrine, which includes calling on the names of the Lord. All right, for those of you who are affiliated with the IUIC, you're not walking honestly if you're calling on the name Christ. Or if you're telling, Israel that the name of the Lord don't matter, or the name of the Lord is Jesus, and that Yahweh is just a title. That's not walking honestly. That's being drunk, man. Okay. Verse 14, put ye on the Lord Yahweh Mashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. Yeah. But put ye on the Lord Yahweh Mashiach. All right, because that's the name. That's a strong tower, Proverbs 18:10, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. So these guys, for example, over at the IUIC, and they're not making up a hedge for their congregation. All right, and they're leading them right into a ditch, and they're gonna be major judgments going out on these guys, massive ones, earth-shattering ones for being dishonest and for shitting on the name of the Lord, man. That's because that's what they're doing. So again, this situation over there in the Red Sea, between Babylon the Great, the hammer of the whole earth, and Iran, it's escalating. Right, we're getting closer and closer again to a major you know, some kind of major attack on this land. Okay. Major attack. All right. And these elites, you know, it could be a legitimate, you know, carried out by, you know, one of these powers, one of America's enemies, or it could be staged, you know. But an attack nonetheless is coming, and it's going to change your world. It's going to rock your world. You know, it's all part of the day of the Lord, all part of Jacob's trouble. So, you know, hey, repent. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. With that, I want to say shalom, and it's on to the next video.